Why is Susan angry? Worst day ever. Way worse than the last worst day ever. And why is Stuart tense? Feeling overwhelmed. Stuart tends to get a little anxious when interacting with non-friends. Well, get used to it, Stuart, because there are a lot of non-friends in the asylum. During the time that we've been telling the story of the other Sims in the asylum, Andy has already made some headway with his aspiration, and as such, the next tasks he would have to do is craft an object on the woodworking table and repair or upgrade an object. And as there is nothing currently broken in the asylum, which is an unusual change of circumstances, I'm going to ask Andy to create something on the woodworking bench. And typically Andy is immediately scared because he thinks other people are talking about him. Because, as a reminder, Andy is paranoid. He is also gloomy, which is why he always has that miserable face on. Andy's aspiration is Nerd Brain, and this aspiration is because he's a big fan of Batu. This may seem like it sounds like he would be an interesting person, but trust me, he's really not. And in fact, looking a little closer, Andy has already completed the first milestone of his aspiration, given that all he had to do was to raise his logic skill and read some books, which is pretty much all he's been doing in the asylum. That wasn't too difficult for him to do in the background. And so we are already on to the second milestone of his aspiration, of which the only thing he has left to do is to repair or upgrade an object. At this rate, perhaps Andy will proceed through his aspiration a little quicker than his predecessors. As there is nothing to repair in the asylum, Andy is going to have to upgrade something, and that means he's going to have to find some upgrade parts. So I'm going to ask Andy to go and dig to see what he can find. Not only did Andy not find any upgrade parts, but his inventory is a sad testimony to the person that Andy is, because here we see the, knife block that he made at the woodworking bench, and it's just a pile of crap. And yet somehow it's still considered normal quality, not even poor quality, and it still sells for 10 simoleons, which will be enough for Andy to buy the upgrade part he will need to do his upgrades. With his upgrade parts, Andy was finally able to perform an upgrade on an object in the asylum. And completing this task allowed Andy to complete the second milestone of his aspiration, moving on to the third. For the third milestone of Andy's aspiration, he will have to reach level 5 of the handiness skill, launch or upgrade a rocket 5 times, and own a rocket ship. Purchasing a rocket ship shouldn't be too difficult, but as for where we're going to fit a rocket ship into the asylum, that's another story. So if I just move this, and also this, I should just about have enough room for a rocket ship in this corner here. And it might mean that people can't get in and out of the asylum, but that's just the way it's going to have to be. And as Andy sets to work building the rocket ship and working towards completing the third milestone of his aspiration, we'll leave his story there for today. Join us next time as Andy completes the rocket ship and makes some journeys into space that may be slightly less than successful, and moves one step closer to completing his aspiration. Thanks for watching. What are these two talking about up on the roof? Insult. Stuart's about to insult Susan. It's funny that any time anyone's speaking to Susan and I look to see what's been automatically queued up, it's an insult. He's calling her a llama. And she's celebrating it. I think Susan's just become so used to the negativity that she's reached the point where any attention is good attention. Again, so very accurate, so very Susan.